When we talk about future of shipping, we are looking at something that is free of bias and thrives with more women on board. Now, speaking of women on board, let's actually hear what Equal at Sea looks like for them out on the high seas. Here we go.
Welcome to Equal at Sea 2023, Second Officer Lavanya. Lavanya, where are you today?
Thank you very much. I'm in Riga today. It's a beautiful day. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to connect. I wish I could be there and be a part of Equal at Sea.
Indeed, Lavanya, we wish you are with us today in this event. So I'll go straight into the questions. What inspired you to take up seafaring as a career?
Well, it's a very challenging job. I always like challenges. And of course, the love for uniform. And it's a different work scenario altogether. You get to travel the world, you get to meet new people and work in a very different culture with a lot of people belonging to different, culture, religion, ethics, whatever. So it's wonderful to be a part of all that.
Wow, those were fabulous reasons definitely to join the Merchant Navy. Any special memories from the years of sailing?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to share the moment I joined ship as a cadet for the first time. And I looked at the ship and I was like, wow, this is so huge. This is beautiful. And this is going to be my home for the next 6 months. And the best part is when I saw the engines, I was like, oh my goodness, the engines can be that big. And the steering right here in front of you, you get to sail the huge ship with such a small steering. And I loved to take command of this and, sail the ship.
Wow, really, that is definitely a memory to remember for the ages.
Yes.
So Lavanya, what about any special message for the audience we have today at Equal at Sea? We have stakeholders from across the maritime industry with us today.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say that this is the second year of Equal at Sea, and a lot has been done for the women empowerment. But then still there is a lot yet to be done, and we are working towards it. And I'm glad that things have changed. I'm glad that things are improving. And then I'm really, really glad that there are so many women seafarers, young ladies who are aspiring to be seafarers and joining this field.
Thank you, Lavanya. And finally, we are charting the course towards an inclusive future. Any special message for aspiring young women taking up seafaring as a career?
Sure. I would like to tell you that when I was a cadet, I faced some pretty difficult time on board because people were not used to seeing women on board initially. But now, because of the initiatives taken by the maritime industry, we are getting more and more new seafarers, ladies, and I would like to tell them, don't stop dreaming. And as you can see, the world behind me, it is so beautiful. So go for it. Make the world your office space.
Wow, that's a very inspiring and a message I definitely need to relay with all those women who want to take up seafaring. Wonderful view of the vessel and the port you're in. Thank you so much for joining us, Lavanya. Wish you a safe sail. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Make the world your office space. I would have loved that. I would have truly loved that. Well, that was a wonderfully inspiring message to hear from halfway across the world. And I do realize that, when we see men in uniform, it's worth the admiration. But when we see women in uniform, it just shows that there are the possibilities are limitless. So that was a wonderful message there. And with that, as you can see, we are quickly giving a makeover to the stage. The reason being, it's time to set the tone with our panel discussion coming your way. Another important and a pertinent conversation. We often see that women cadets at maritime institutes today, they in fact are readying themselves to enter the shipping industry. And while some things are still the same, A lot is constantly evolving in order to meet the 21st century requirements. So this tete-a-tete conversation is all about on pursuing seafaring careers, and to spearhead the session, we will be having Captain Arvind Shankar, the Culture and Capability Manager at AP Moller Maersk, and he will be responsible to moderate the discussion. I believe we saw you on the screen, and from the screen live over here. How cool is that? But it's a delight indeed, and we're looking forward to having you take forward this conversation. He, in fact, comes with decades of seafaring experience and works extensively in maritime training at Amit University and at the Maersk Center of Excellence. Now, joining him on the stage, I'd also like to invite Garima, a first-year cadet at Amit, who has set her sights on conquering the seas. Her adventurous spirit is excited to explore the world as a seafarer and make a mark in the industry. And also to join them in the discussion, I'd love to invite on stage Captain Dr. Ashutosh V. Apankar, who is Captain Superintendent, Principal of Training Ship Rahman, who works extensively in academia with some of the oldest and most reputed maritime institutes, such as the Indian Maritime University, MIT ADT University, and Mumbai University, in the field of nautical science. So this is a discussion that we're eagerly looking forward to. So I'm going to quickly hand it over to Captain Arvind Shankar. Over to you then.
Thank you so much for that introduction and a very interesting topic at hand. I'm glad that I found my voice after that amazing speech by the chief guest. I was struggling and got some water, and I was like, fine, get myself together again. That was awe-inspiring, sir. So coming back to the tete-a-tete which we have today, we have a very interesting panel at hand. We have Captain Ashutosh, who's got years of experience in the maritime training field, and we have Cadet Garima with us, who, by the way, is not in the first year anymore. We can give her a round of applause. She just got her results while we were here. She's through to second year now.
Thank you so much for that.
All right, so she's in the second year then. All right, straight into the discussion, if I will start with Garima. Garima, tell me about your personal experience about why did you take up seafaring? And on campus, what was it that has changed in the year gone by that has made the life of women cadets more equitable from the learning perspective and from the hiring perspectives?
So there are three qualities that I'm really attracted to. First is cultural diversity, teamwork, and leadership qualities. The career path where I found all these three, that I could learn these, I could adapt to these, and I could perform these, I went for that career path. And this was something that inspired me to actually choose Merchant Navy as my career, and I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm very happy that I finally chose this. Talking about the challenges, and I think there are a lot of things that the Indian women have unlocked. Firstly, I think I'm saying from a daughter's perspective, when the cadets when the cadets are having kind of a meeting with the parents as well as the school students, because I'm saying it from personal experience, I was a part of this where I was talking to the parent as well as to a student, a school student who's not even aware that women can be a part of Merchant Navy. They were so excited to know about everything. They were so interested to know each and every part, each and every equipment present on the vessel. And from a concerning side, from parents, they were very happy that this is very safe. I can send my daughter beautifully how my father sent me, and he supported me with this. Second thing is, on the financial basis that I talk about, well, scholarships, which are provided from DGS as well as Amit, the institute where I am from, I think these are something that really help and unlock the money bias, which usually parents think that can cause a problem in the education. Lastly, merit-based selection and not gender-based selection. If a women cadet wants to be a part of Merchant Navy, prove it. Crack the exam, clear the interview, be a part. Don't think that, I am a girl, I can't do this, or, don't be very proud. A guy should never be proud that I am physically fit, I am a guy, and I can just be a part of it. A woman can easily be that. So I think these are the things that Indian women easily unlocked and are doing it.
Thank you so much for that, Garima. And I can see that it's clearly reflecting on how the tide has really changed. We spoke about it in our first conversation at Equal at Sea, the barriers which women had to enter seafaring. Now you can see there is, I mean, the conversation with you clearly reflects that there has been a significant positive change in that. Over to Captain Ashutosh, I would love to hear from you from the perspective of T.S. Rahman. What have you done to have those conversations, those difficult conversations with parents and create awareness about opportunities for women in seafaring?
Good evening, everyone. First, let me, Captain Shankar, tell you what we have done in last 6 months. And that will actually answer your question. So, initially, as an institute, we decided that not only the areas which are exposed to shipping industry or shipping world, like the coastal region, but we will also tap certain areas who do not have any knowledge about shipping or they have not even seen, I mean, they are far away from sea. So we went to certain areas like Ratnagiri, coastal regions where they have a 702 kilometers of coastline, and we decided certain areas and we went to northeast and north part of India. So we went to Himachal, we went to Assam, we went to Chandigarh, and almost say around 29 schools, 1800 girls we addressed, and we started talking to them about this career. And one interesting thing where we went actually was an island in Assam. It's the world's largest river island, Majoli. And the trip to Majoli was horrible, I cannot tell you, crossing the Brahmaputra. And being a seafarer, when I sat in that dhow boat, I was looking for a life jacket. But then my motto was something else. The whole team was with us. We went over there, we gave them the presentation. And of course, like any other Indian society or anywhere in Himachal also, they had concerns over the safety of the girls. They had concern over the job, the placements, and of course the finances. So what we had done uniquely was we took our girl cadets who were on vacation in uniform to these various places, to these 29 schools. We took our lady faculties with us and existing seafarers who are already sailing, but they are ready to come with us. So the audience or the students had three perspectives, one from training side, one from a faculty side, and one from who are sailing. And all these three faculties, three ladies, actually, when they started talking, most of the issues were cleared off. And out of these 1800 students, we've got a chunk of students now with us who are ready to explore this new thing, and specifically from Assam, Meghalaya, and Himachal, we have got some around 11 girls now. So they had these concerns, and one interesting thing was one of the parent was actually not convinced. The girl has joined us, but I was trying to tell her how safe this is, and everything happened, but I could see on their face that they were not convinced. And so finally I said, and I remember this because when Chief Surveyor said that my wife was on board and that was the safest thing, it just triggered that I have to mention this. And I told the parents, I've got a daughter. She stays in the campus, training ship Rahman. But if tomorrow she tells me that I want to join shipping, I'll be the happiest man on earth that she wants to join. So that was the confidence which gave them that, yes, my daughters can join. And will you believe, they got twins and they're joining. They're joining the ship. So both the girls are coming to us. So that's the thing which we are trying to do. Of course, scholarships. I'm very happy that DG Shipping, institutes like MASA, FOSMA, unions, they are coming forward, helping, and that burden of that financial thing is being lowered now, and it is opened up now. So these are the things like, we faced.
Thank you so much for that, Captain Ashutosh. I think the first part of it should be documented in National Geographic as he crossed the Brahmaputra to take education across to remote corners of the country. Incredible achievement there, fabulous work there, sir. All right, over to you, Garima. Now let's hear something from what happens on campus. Could you talk us through some of the opportunities which are there for women on campus? There are a few hurdles and barriers. How did you get past them as we work together to chart towards a new future?
Well, I'll start with the opportunities. Well, we have leadership positions. Not leadership positions, equal leadership positions. We have men cadets and women cadets treated equally in classes. No fear of judgment, so psychological safety is there. The women cadets are not, they don't have any kind of a fear that if any idea or any creative or any innovative opinion they have, that if it is raised, it will not be mattered, it will be equally mattered. Uh, well, equality in case of physical strength as well. So we have, opportunities for us that we can also show that we are physically fit, and we can also be a sport. We can also be a part of a team, or if anything that we are very proud of or we can play off. Hurdles, I think. It was in the earlier where inclusion was not there, but how we went past through is we were made aware of a systematic approach. Solve your problems on your own. You know the system, you know the people you're working with, approach them. Why not to raise a question if you're having any kind of a difficult situation? Go to them, talk about it, prepare any kind of a PPT. I think something that I've learned from you is that prepare a PPT and tell this is my problem, this is the solutions that I can give you. Now you choose one as you're the head and do it. Now it is to you. I have given you the solutions, I've given you the problem as well. Prepare a PPT. This is something that I do when I get into a difficult situation. So this was something that we were made aware about the systematic approach. And this is what I think the women cadets are doing now. And this is what the men cadets are learning from the women cadets. So yeah, I think this was it.
Thank you for that, Garima. I'm going to ask you one more question. Actually, I want her to, while we were sitting there at the table, Garima shared an interesting conversation she had on the flight to Mumbai. She just traveled from Delhi just now. So would it be okay to share that conversation with the audience?
I may or may not have influenced my co-passenger mother to send one of her elder daughter to Amit till now, because she randomly asked me that what are you doing, or have you just passed 12 because I look so tiny or something like that. So I said, no, I'm in Merchant Navy currently. She's like, oh, Merchant Navy, so what are you doing there? I said, I'm training for it. She's like, so you'll be a captain? I was like, why can't I be a captain? So she just said that, okay, tell me. So I gave her a virtual view of Amit, everything, like from deck to engine side to everything. And she may or may not be convinced with me, but she is saying that if definitely let my daughter clear some of her IT exams or something like that, if my daughter is completely fine with it, she's going to Amit. So I may or may not.
Incredible. I think we found our brand ambassador for spreading awareness. So it's time to get on those boots. We're going to send you across the rivers now. All right. Thank you for that, Garima. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right. Over to Captain Ashutosh again. We spoke about psychological safety. I think that's a very important aspect. So could you walk us through some of the measures that you are taking at TS Rahman for building equitability and psychological safety for students?
Yeah. So when we really started on this program, we thought that whenever a cadet rating enters, the first thing they face is the watchman. He opens the gate. So we thought that everybody from watchman to the top management, they should be at the same level and they should have the same understanding. So what we did was we conducted a gender sensitization course for the whole campus. We got some 350 staff in the campus, and everybody went through that. And of course, like any other maritime college, we have our separate lady girls hostel. We have a lady warden. Then there are some women development cell, which is a requirement of university, and of course the initiative from our side. So they take care of the complaints, they take care of their needs, and there is a regular meeting with the girls. But they are not given any special treatment, but they are equally with the boys, but they have a cell to represent. We do something very unique, I would say, is a mentor-mentee program. So the mentor-mentee program, what we do is that every captain or a chief engineer, he is allotted 8 students. And what happens is, if the student, a cadet or a rating, when they pass out from the academy, they are till their first COC or their first ticket, they are with them, and they can call for any personal issue, professional issues, or any other things which they feel they need to discuss. So that relationship is developed right from the cadet program, from the training, and slowly, slowly it goes up to, officially it goes up to the first COC. Thereafter, they want to continue good, but I mean, you know, once you make that relationship, it just goes on. So like that, these are the measures which we have taken and made sure that, you know, the environment is conducive for the women also.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Captain Ashutosh. Incredible, changes that you have brought on in T.S. Rahman. So please do connect with him later to find out what he has been doing further. Over to you, Garima. Next, what words of advice or skill sets do you think that women need to build over time in the cadet training schools as they step on board and work up their way into leadership positions on board?
Well, I majorly believe in two. First, speak up. You have an idea, you have an opinion, why to fear of judgment? Be 100% sure of yourself and just say it. If you think if anybody is going to judge you, let them judge. When you have an audience who is fully supporting you, I don't think so there's any kind of a fear that you should be there. Second thing, step up. Whenever there's a leadership position, this is something that I have observed. Whenever there's a leadership position, I see that women tend to get second thoughts. That what if or I can't do it comes. And when it comes to men, they are like that, yes, we can do this. So there's this thing of learning on the job itself. And this is something that Merchant Navy is actually about. I am doing the training, but it can be very different when I go on board. So just be confident, be bold, and say that, yes, I can do it, I want to do it, and I can prove them, and just step up and go ahead. Take the position, conquer the world. Do whatever you wish to do.
That's really incredible because actually, Garima, when the first time I spoke to her and I asked her, would you like to take up a discussion with me at Equal at Sea? Immediately she said, yes, let's do it. And later on, she's like, this is my first time. Will I be okay? So she grabbed the opportunity. She didn't second judge herself. Incredible, Garima. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, Captain Ashutosh, no, nothing is, we can't prove that an initiative is successful without numbers. Could you share some statistics, if you could, on your recruitment and hiring or your admissions into your college?
Yeah. So as you are aware that 1.2% of the total seafarer women represent 1.2. India represents somewhere close to 0.5. Talking about training ship Rahman, we had the first girl in 2006 and the first rating in 2013. So if a batch of 120, we had only one. So it was 0.83%. And today we have 20. So from 0.83, we moved to 15.83. And the idea is by next batch that is coming in the January batch, we will try to touch somewhere close to 20 to 25. And then the actual aim is 50% to have that, because with the present the move which we have done in all over India, believe me, now I'm getting calls for the next batch. Okay. So that awareness is there. I'm so happy that the parents are calling and asking about this. Then in cadets, we have somewhere close to, right now it's 25%. But again, yes, our goal is slowly go up the ladder. And this is, I'm talking about the total strength of T.S. Rahman. I would also specifically like to mention one thing, without naming the company, but the girl cadet, she is now chief officer with us. And she's from a 2009-2013, 3 years batch. And one fine day, there was a huge shipping company came, and the company came and they were interviewing the cadets. And they had a policy, I'm talking about 2009, no girls. So she came and she requested me, sir, can I just sit for the interview? I said, I will ask and let's see. She just wanted an experience. So when I requested the captain, he said, company policy is such, and tomorrow it shouldn't happen that she complains. So I said, sir, I assure you this won't happen. She just wants an experience. So he initially refused. Then she came back again and Nisha told me, sir, please, I request you and all that. And she was one of the finest girls, I can tell you. In a batch of 40, I used to call, ye main bolta tha, bahut pyar se. I used to tell her, She's the only male member. Why? Coming from Himachal and 3 years in campus, not a single day she had taken holiday or sick leave or any other leave. Attended all the days. So I was like, she's the only tough girl over there. Rest all were coming from Bombay and nearby places, taking some or the other sick leave. But this girl was determined. So again, I requested him, and finally he said, okay, just for you. And I assured him, sir, don't worry, it's just for experience. And I thought in 5 minutes, he will finish off, and that's the end of story. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20. I'm looking at my watch, and I'm saying, what's happening? Why the captain is not coming out, or Nisha is not coming out? 22nd or 23rd minute, captain came out from the room, and he's talking on phone. He's talking in Japanese, and he finished his phone call. And then he tells me, Ashutosh-san, I'm going to change my company policy for Nisha. And I was like, for a minute, am I really hearing this? And Nisha today is sailing in the same company as Nisha Dogra, sailing as chief officer. So that is the power, I can tell you. And she made them change their policy.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. And I'm sure we have a lot of allies here with us today. We are hopefully over that hiring biases. Women are really leading the front, ready to take up leadership positions. So let's open our hearts out, change our policies, rewrite history, and be more inclusive as we chart our way towards a new future. All right? Thank you for that. With that, we will end our conversation here. And thank you, lovely audience. And of course, thank you, Captain Ashutosh and Garima. I did throw you under the bus there with your personal story. I hope you don't hold me up to that. All right? Thank you so much.